Please note that the content of this episode has explicit language and is not suitable for underage listeners. Hi, I'm CJ, and I've done phone sex for 24 years. Let's get started. I want to thank you for listening to Secrets from a Phone Sex Queen, everything you always wanted to know about phone sex and more. Please reach out to me with your questions and comments. I love them at phonesexqueen1@gmail.com. If you're listening on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive notifications on when new podcasts are dropped. Hello, sorry it's been so long, but here I am. I hope everyone is doing well. I don't think I've put out this disclaimer before, but I just wanted to throw it out there that if you are squeamish, this podcast or portions of this podcast may not be for you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there's really nothing that makes me squeamish or gives me the ick. But this one did. So I'm forewarning you, I've been really open and honest about a lot of stuff. But I'm going to tell you about something icky, so it's up to you, and don't say I didn't warn you. I had a new caller, and I've been getting a lot, so that's great. And I haven't had this topic come up in a really long time. The caller had a British accent, which I love, so that was a real good positive. And he said he had a very dirty fetish. Okay, so I asked him what it was. And when I do that, I run the risk of not loving it or wanting to really know what it is or to even talk to him. But I had to ask. And his thing was that he loved to attach himself, his mouth specifically, to a woman's pussy when she's on her period. We are talking like a suction cup. He wants to be there 24/7, whether he's between her legs or the woman sitting on top of his face. He wants it to be messy. He wants it to be in his mouth. Now I'm going to get into more detail. So again, if you're squeamish or just plain not interested, now is the time to stop listening. I would never discourage anyone from listening to my podcast, but I just want to warn you, if you need to be warned, I don't know. So this call starts with him saying, like I said, he wants to attach himself to a woman's pussy while she's on her period. And what he really wants is to lick her and clean her while she's on her period. And what really gets him excited, more excited than anything, is when it's long, thick, stringy, oozy blood clots. He proceeds to tell me he wants blood clots. He wants to lick it and drink it. And even if a woman has a maxi pad, he wants to lick it and clean it. And he really wants it to be oozing. And if licking her with her legs spread doesn't give him enough, then he wants her to sit on his face and just make his face a bloody mess while he licks the blood clotty period blood from the woman's pussy. It needs to just roll down his throat. Then, as men do, he asks me if I would enjoy that. And of course, I have to say yes. I don't really have to say yes. But if I want him to call back, then I will say yes. And in my mind, the question is, do I want him to call back or not? And I'm thinking it could be a lot worse than this. So yes, I want him to call me back, even though I'm feeling kind of icky about the whole thing. He pretty much continued on his way for quite a while, talking about blood clots and stringy blood and how he loves it and enjoys it and wants to drink it. And he just wants to lay in between a woman's legs and just keep licking it and drinking it. And this goes on for quite some time. I have to be honest and say it wasn't my favorite call to take because being a woman, obviously it's not appealing to me. And I do remember having sex while I was on my period and thought it was kind of strange that the man I was with or men loved it so much. But there are men out there who do. And it's not a problem for me. But what it is it's the descriptive part of the call that was getting to me, the stringy, oozy period, blood clotty blood. He calls me the next day and pretty much says the same thing, but he adds some other things to it now. He wants me to sit on his face and make it very bloody, like I said. He had mentioned a period cup. So, I know about pads and I know about tampons, but I never heard of a period cup that goes inside and all the blood goes in it. And he said to me he wanted to drink it and how excited he was. And that was really nauseating. I actually looked it up online and there is such a thing. I don't really know what it's called, but ew. And then he changed it up a little bit and he said, I want you to pee down his throat. He wants poop down his throat. He goes along the line of what he wants for quite a while. Poop on his chest. Ultimately, everything is going in his mouth or on his chest. I think I've said in many of my podcasts, I try not to be judgy. Everybody's got their thing, and I still feel that same way. But I wonder, I suppose this is me being judgy. I wonder what happened to someone to get them to the point where they want that on them or in them, the humiliation factor. But he didn't come off as wanting to be humiliated. It was more of something he really enjoyed and wanted his partner to enjoy it with him too. I try not to think about that too much. I try to be in the moment and give my caller what they want. It's important to me. This went on again for quite some time, the stringy clotty blood along with the peeing and the pooping on and in him. The thing I always listen for, no matter what, is this getting him off. Is he getting excited by it? Because ultimately, again, that is what I'm here for most of the time, is to get someone off. And yes, I hear him. And yes, he is. And really, does he enjoy our phone calls? He did want a third call. It just so happened that he wrote me and asked me if I was going to be on that moment. And it happened to be the middle of the day and I was working. So I had to write him and tell him I'm sorry I couldn't help him. I couldn't talk to him. Since the second call, I've not heard from him again. I'm not happy about that. I'm also not very sad about it either, but it takes a lot of effort, mental effort, more than anything, to listen to the things that kind of make my stomach turn. It doesn't happen very often, but it did in this particular case. When doing this particular job, I do try very hard to keep an open mind because everybody's wants, needs, desires, pleasures are very different. And I always say, who am I to say ick to them? I wouldn't do that. There's a lot that goes on in my head when I'm on a call. I think about, do I want to continue talking to this person? Do I want them to be a caller that continues to call me? Is this the type of call I want to take? Do I want to pass this person off to someone else? I do think about these things while I'm on this type of call. And typically, since it's not horrific, I'll say, no, I should take this call. I can handle this call. I will do this call, even though it's not on my list of calls that I would love to take, but it's certainly not the worst. And it isn't difficult either because it's not even a role play. It's kind of like, ooh, I want to do this to you. Ooh, I want that to you. I want you to do this to me. And I'm like, okay. So, it's like, it's not difficult. It's just the subject matter and how I feel about it. But I really don't give my calls to other people other than, the dominatrix ones. And so that was him. So hopefully you made it through all that. There are callers that do call who just want someone to pee on their mouth. And that in and of itself also makes me queasy a little bit. But again, I'm not sure if it's real or a fantasy or both. And I don't ask. When I tell people these things, people that ask me what I do, they always want to know if I ask them why they like whatever it is they like. And just in my head, it seems very judgmental to ask that question. Why do you like that? Why do you like what you like? Because then they have to explain themselves, and people really don't want to explain why they like what they like or where it came from. The theory out there is that people watch porn. They see stuff. They want to try it. And if that's the case, great. My job is to not analyze anyone. It's just to talk, to interact with them, listen to them, whatever the case may be. So I'm not asking them, why do you like this? Unless they want me to ask them these questions. And sometimes they do. In this case, no. It's just go along with the program, listen to the guy, interact with the guy, tell him I like it, and that's all. Nothing more. There are some men who will say after the fact, what did you think of that? Did you enjoy that? What are your thoughts? I would never say I don't like it, for fear that they would never call back. But if I didn't enjoy it, there are ways for me to say I didn't enjoy it. Like, that was different, but even then, that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. In this particular case, he didn't ask me, so I'm not going to give him any indication that it's icky to me. I'm just going to say, okay, yeah, and move along. Enough about that caller. We'll see if he calls me back, and if he does call me back, I will let you know. I had a question from someone. Thank you for asking. What do I do when I have a caller who's so ready to come that I'm only on the phone with them for like 1 to 3 minutes? That's kind of a good question. My answer is you just do your job. A caller calls, starts talking about a role play or scenario. You could hear it in their voice. They're not going to be on long. You try hard to slow things down for them. Most of the time, that doesn't work because in some cases, they've been talking to several different girls and you're the last one. You're the lucky one to get the end. if you call that lucky, but it's a short call. And it's very odd how some nights work out that every single call is 2 or 3 minutes or 1 minute. Other nights, every single call is 15 to 20 minutes. It's rare these days where it's sporadic, where you have a 1 minute call and a 25-minute call, or whatever the case may be. It's just working out lately that they're all around the same amount of time. I have some callers who are on the phone with me for 1 to 3 minutes, and then they apologize that they're done because they think I have an expectation that we should be on the phone longer. I have no expectation whatsoever. 1 minute or an hour. I don't expect to be on the phone an hour. I don't expect to be on the phone for a minute or two. Call me if you're ready to blow, whatever. So I really would like to be on longer, but it's not up to me as much as people say that we have control. We can try to edge the caller, but if they've been edging for so long and I'm the lucky girl who gets the end of that edge, oh well, nothing for me to do. Hope that answers your question. I thank you for all your questions and comments. It's very much appreciated. You know, a 1 minute call is as much appreciated as an hour call, like I said. I mean, I just don't know what's happened to them prior to them talking to me. I could be the first person. They could hear my voice. Boom, they're done. They've been watching porn. I do hear a lot of guys watching porn, so they just want to call and hear a voice and get ready instead of just coming to their TV. So, you know, whatever. I also do want to say that several people have reached out to me from my podcast wanting to be a caller of mine. I appreciate that as well. I love it when someone listens and says they want to talk to me. I really appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. So thank you to those of you who I've spoken with. If you're on the fence, try me once, see what you think. But I haven't had anybody unhappy yet. Ha ha ha. I say ha 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 because I'm that good. I think the worst part about that is scheduling. If you're not on the same coast as me or our schedules don't match, I will really try hard to fit you in and make our schedules work. But thank you so much for all of you who I have spoken with. It's been a lot of fun. So that's all for this week. I want to thank you for listening to Secrets from a Phone Sex Queen, everything you always wanted to know about phone sex and more. Please reach out to me. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want. phonesexqueen1@gmail.com. New episodes will drop when they drop now. I'm trying to be more consistent, but sometimes it's hard. Check me out on Facebook at CJ's Podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new podcast is dropped. Until next time, stay sexy.